Wow. Okay, so here we are. I just recorded a whole video on the full moon in Aquarius. And I was speaking to a client who had mentioned that, I did this video on Aquarius, but that she missed the full moon in Capricorn one. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? So I was looking at my calendar for August, and yeah, so I did this whole full moon in Aquarius video, which I had to delete and redo this. And actually, it's funny because I've been getting this message to slow down and pay attention and to focus not only personally, but just collectively as well. When we are trying to rush through changes, either by doing shadow work or by doing healing work that we think we need, or we start feeling better, or we start, after one session, we're like, wow, I feel amazing, yay. And then you go back down and you're like, wait, what just happened? I feel sad again. I'm depressed again. My body hurts again. I thought I healed this. There is a collective tendency, myself included, to rush through things because we really find ourselves in a nightmarish situation worldwide. And I keep getting the same message to slow down. And of course, I didn't, because had I slowed down, I would have noticed that I was doing an entire video on a different moon and on a different month and for a different day. So here we go. What is Capricorn trying to teach me, trying to teach all of us? Discipline, regulate, focus, right? These are all elements of and characteristics of the Capricorn energy. Capricorn represents discipline, it represents ambitions, it represents goal settings, but it's also incredibly practical, right? So, in that practicality, this particular sign, the sign of Capricorn, values structures in addition to aiming for really high achievements. So, with Capricorn moons, it's all about what we ought to do, what we should do. It's this emotional control for the purpose of security, right? For the purpose of sort of it almost felt like repeating a pattern that we all need to start paying attention to. It can be an emotional pattern, it can be a career pattern, it can be a pattern of behavior that we are probably either tired of or want to change. But the patterning is important, right? This particular moon carries this world on its shoulder type energy. And when we have that level of responsibility and when we have that level of, just duties, really, we actually need to organize and we need to set it up in such a way that our organization leads us to do what is right. So when we're with this full moon in Capricorn, it's really about approaching every situation with pause because the emotions that we may be dealing with might be a little bit too much. And so we need to compartmentalize. We need to really set lists. We when we're dealing with this particular emotion. It Capricorn moons tend to be for me like if I were to pick a moon that expressed the energy of a Mercury retrograde, it would probably be a Capricorn moon. Dot your I's, cross your T's, pause. pause. I feel like this is definitely um, what we all need to be focusing on. When and of course I had to do another meditation. And guys, when I tell you I have a litany of things to do, I have a litany of things to do, right? But I had to redo this. And believe it or not, putting up these videos takes a chunk of my time. But I had to do the meditation again and tap into this Capricorn moon and really ask, what's the emotions that we're all dealing with here with this Capricorn moon? And the word that appeared was regret, right? And with regret, there came the other word of choice and other words, because there's choice and positivity. So we're really being taught with this Capricorn moon to not move forward with regrets. Go back, make amends. And the way to make amends is very practical. This particular moon loves practicality. And the practical way for us to make amends is simply to be in gratitude for the errors of the past. So when I went back and looked at the fact that I uploaded the wrong video, I didn't want to be in that space of regret. I was actually in that space of regret prior to doing the meditation. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. It's a mistake. Ah, now I have to sit down and redo this. And, and it was just it was the wrong energy. And so when I tapped in, it was like, everyone is going to be in one way or another collectively dealing with this emotion of regret. And the key to balancing and regulating that emotion is to stay in the field of gratitude and literally look at it and say, what did I learn from this mistake? And what is it that I'm grateful for that but for that mistake, I would not have learned? For me personally, in uploading the wrong video, it was literally this continual message that I keep getting to slow down. And, part of my hesitation and part of my resistance to slowing down is, how is all of this stuff going to get done if I slow down? And I've gotten the same message over and over again. The more I slow down, the more time slows down for me. And I will have enough time to do what I need to do and do it right. So, with that, I leave you with the next slide where we're going to get into Capricorn's ruling planet, which is Saturn, and the chakra system. But just know that with the Capricorn moon, our emotions will be triggered by either new opportunities, the sternness or discipline, decision makings, the lack of joy, right? That seriousness, the patriarchy, authority figures, and control, right? Our emotions are going to be triggered with one or of those areas that I mentioned, or the flavor of those areas that I just mentioned, right? So it's about releasing that. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. So Capricorn's ruling planet is Saturn, and its chakra system, or the chakra system that it rules, is actually the root chakra. And again, everything happens for a reason, right? When I made the error and I expressed to you guys that I've been getting this message to slow down. Well, Saturn is the slowest of the seven planets. And um that's for a reason, right? Because Saturn is one of those planets that everybody is scared of because it's karmic, and everyone's afraid, like, oh my God, Saturn's going to punish me. And it's the embodiment of karma. And yeah, from a collective perspective, because we're not doing things in the way that Saturn would want, which is to work hard for the right reasons, right? If from But from an individual perspective, if you're taking care of your health, Saturn's not going to kick your ass when it comes around in your chart. If you're taking care of your finances, Saturn's not going to kick your ass when it comes to your money matters. If you're taking care of following the pursuits of your career, which is really your passion and your purpose, Saturn is not going to come around and literally eliminate your job unexpectedly, right? What Saturn does, it's actually, I like this to the extent that I enjoy seeing how hard I've either worked or didn't work in a particular area that Saturn is coming into play, right? So it reminds me of, oof, I need to work on my career a little bit more, or oof, I need to pay attention to my finances. For me, on a personal level, Saturn was hitting my health house, and I wasn't taking care of myself. I was literally taking care of everyone but myself. And when Saturn came along, mm, kind of is still teaching me that hard lesson of taking care of my body, right? So this is what Saturn does. When Saturn comes around, it's either going to remind us to step up our game and really do the hard work, right, with discipline and perseverance, or Saturn's going to come around and literally eliminate what's not working, or at least make you feel that you're a prisoner of your own making, right? That's the Saturnian energy. And it also goes down to the base chakra. Now, the base chakra system, which is our root chakra, is all about family matters, our tribe. Where do we belong? Again, Saturn is here to guide us, right? What do you want to work hard for? What's your goals? What do you want to pursue? And it need not be the same as what is expected or what was expected from your tribe, right? So Saturn might come along and say, "Hey, I'm removing you from your tribe because you're not doing what you promised you would do. You're not standing up for the wisdom, for the maturity, for the energy in this lifetime that you said you were going to come and accomplish, right?" So Saturn will come, and if you're not on that right path, it's going to destroy that path so that you have no other option but to turn around and find your right way. And again, there might be a lot of influences from the root base, which is your tribe, but you can't rely on that tribe. You have to rely on what you knew from the very beginning you were here to accomplish. Now, let's look at the tarot cards that Saturn influences during this full moon in Capricorn phase. Now, Saturn is represented by the devil archetype and the world card. And I'm really tired of the devil archetype. And I'll tell you why. I'm not afraid of this archetype because I understand it. It's just another one of those release points. Whenever we see the tower, the devil, the hanged man, I'm missing one and I can't remember, but these are the ones that people fear the most, right? And all it is different way of releasing. So with the devil archetype, we can't just cut the chains. We actually have to plan. You have to plan your exit because you're the one that got yourself into this jam. So we can't just like with the Tower card, it's very Uranian in that sense that it's something from the sky, unexpected, right? It's the lightning. So we are released from something that was outside of our control. With the devil archetype, we are released by something that is within our control, right? So that archetype is coming into play, and it is very much Saturnian in that the control factor is there. Now, with the World card, also ruled by the Saturn, this engagement is the more positive aspects of Saturn, right? So, just going back to the devil archetype, it is all about addiction, oppression, possessions, depressions, mental health issues, etc., etc., etc. And on its positive, as I was just mentioning, it's about the release point. It's about being released from bondage, removing our chains, um, moderating ourselves from perhaps too much dependency on something. And with the more positive aspect of the Saturn, right? That gift that Saturn gives you if you've worked hard, it's the success represented by the World card. It's the achievement, it's the completion, the fulfillment, this sense of belonging, right? So remember that tribal aspect. You might be removed from the tribe, but you will be guided to where you belong, to that space of wholeness, right? And it's more challenging. It's the World card can be lack of success or stagnation, but in its more positive, it is about this expanded horizon, right? So keep those in mind, as we move forward, and certainly as you see which card your reading is gravitating towards, and keep these things in mind. Again, with the full moon in Capricorn, we're being guided to remember where our true power comes from, and it comes from source energy, the divine, the divine. So we have to sort of be courageous here with this full moon in Capricorn. And we have to stick to our convictions that we're going to release the control in order to assume a more sacred leadership role, the one we were born to freely express during this time here on earth. And that is the energy of the World card, the energy of victory. Now, for those of you that are journaling during this full moon, it's a perfect time to release something, let something go, complete something, wrap something up, or allow something to be illuminated that you've been confused about or not clear about, right? You can journal about that. Allow your subconscious mind to reveal what it is that you're completely feeling in the dark about. So, with this full moon, you be very practical with the steps that you need in order to achieve your goals. So, something you can do is write out 3 goals, what you want to accomplish, what you desire to accomplish during this full moon in Capricorn phase. And then I want you to be very practical about the steps you need to take in order to complete your goal. Baby steps, little steps. Remember the guidance that we're getting, everyone's getting that guidance to slow down. And you can definitely accomplish your goals within that time period if it's practical. If it's practical. Now, for those of you that love affirmations, or when you see the video, you are being gravitated towards one card or the other based on your reading, the affirmations that you can say is when you are, maybe the devil archetype is the one that shows up, you can say something like, I am not manipulable. I am not manipulative, right? This goes directly into the shadow, and you can be manipulative and you can allow others to manipulate you if you are not clear and you don't see what is ahead of you, right? So be in the space that you want to release any bondage. That's one example or one affirmation. You can change those words around. You can also say, I don't control and others can't control me, right? That's another one that speaks to that archetype, to the devil archetype. Now, if you're being drawn to the world archetype, or the world comes up in your tarot reading that we're going to do, your tarot and oracle reading, one affirmation you can do is that I am worthy of victory because I have been working hard for this moment. I am worthy of victory because I have been working hard for this moment, right? So take those, have these are just my suggestions, but in the spirit of what I've just shared with you, that's how the affirmations um, are best to be declared for this full moon in Capricorn. Now, let's get to the reading. So, yeah, so here we go again. Um, let's just begin. We are using the Arch and Ciel Tarot deck. That's my deck. And we are still using an oracle for the full moon. And I decided to get the wisdom of Hafiz. And this is the wisdom of this Persian poet. And sometimes I think with the rigidity of Capricorn, you need something to like soften up the energy. So everything's been laid out already. That's to save time. But I am going to just slow down my reading, just like I've been guided to do. So here we have Saturn, right? This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the full moon in Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn. And I also want you to just keep in mind when we hit that last quarter moon and the sun's rays starts to darken on the surface of that moon, that's when we want to ramp up our prayer time, our meditation time, etc. So we just want to keep those energies in mind when you get to that quarter moon. That's when you want to rely on and tap into that inner light. Okay. Now, as I mentioned before, we've got the devil archetype, which is representative of the Saturn, right, which is the moon, and we also have here the world. So as we go around, I'm going to see which ones I gravitate towards with your reading. And if we have some time, I'll do one pull for the collective on both card decks. And yeah, let's just begin. Aries is our first card. So you have here an awakening. And for me, the awakening is definitely not coming from here, right? Because this is already sort of like the awakened state. So if we are awakening, and this is the 9 of Wands, by the way, everyone, then I am being I'm gravitated towards here because there's something that's tying you to the past that we are being called to release. I'm trying to figure out this camera. Here we go. That we're being called to release at this time, right? So this could be a past relationship with a family member, a past relationship with an intimate loved one, past relationship with career, a past relationship with an institution, right? So during this full moon in Capricorn, you're being asked to literally free yourself. Free yourself by looking at what it is that's tying you And then understanding that you have the keys to unlocking or to freeing yourself. And what's the guidance? Guidance, it says guidance is golden. I love this because I'm asking what's the guidance for the Aries moon, right? When we have this awakening potential within you to awaken to knowledge that's coming from something that was difficult. And you're just getting that reinforcement that guidance is actually golden. And this might have to do even with your relationship with spiritual institutions. And that's because I see that 42 number there, which reminds me of spirituality and also reminds me of having faith. So there's a golden opportunity here for you to free yourself from the past, from something that you've been tied to, that it's just time to release it. And have guidance from that inner wisdom, the literally the upper chakra systems, and also allow the download of information to occur. Whenever we see the 9, and then specifically when I was drawing out these cards and designing them, it was about allowing the illumination point to come from above. This is why the wands are coming down. So allow the illumination, allow the inspiration to literally free you from this past. All right, we will move on. Can you see those? You might not be able to. Let's do that so that way I can, at the end, tell you the summation of the guidance system. Then we're moving on to Taurus. So Taurus, we have new skills, right? So this for me is a completion point. It is about the world. So there is something here that you've completed. It does feel for me to be emotional in nature, spiritual in nature. You do feel protected. You feel like it's okay to move forward at this time, Taurus babies. Or Taurus moons, and like I said, I am focusing on the moons, but if this resonates for you based on your sun sign or based on your ascendant sign, that's fine too. Just make sure to write it all out so you could see the full story if you're going to do that. But this is focusing on the moon. So for Taurus babies, you've had this, it's almost like seeding something material that's based on your spiritual understanding and your spiritual connection that literally moves an aspect of your emotion that you've never seen before. So this is for you a new beginning, a new world coming forward. Let's see what you've got here. Protect your boundaries. Interesting, because what I was going to say was there is a level of protection here with the umbrella. So yeah, let's heed the guidance, right? Protect your boundaries. Make sure that your emotions or what you're doing with your spiritual journey is not being ridiculed or attacked by others, by protecting your boundaries until you know it's the proper time to move forward with the information that you've acquired. Because this is new. It's a nest, right? So this is new for you. So when something is new, and you've never moved past this particular path, it's really important for you to sit with it. Sit with it and see what's revealed before you share it with the world. So that's one way to protect your boundaries. And I also want to say the boundaries, it doesn't need to be this scary thing. Look at that. It's this beautiful array. I don't know if you could see it. Array of leaves, right? Still shining, but doesn't need to be this like thing where we're like closing ourselves off. Like I met this one girl once and she was just like ridiculous with the protection, like everything was a protection, got to protect this, got to clear that, got to do, and I could see how that level of protection was actually causing more fear to manifest in her world, right? So we do have to have faith, and this is your faith card for the Taurus, right? We do have to have faith that you are protected. You just need to claim it, right? You don't need to dramatize it. That's really not necessary. And when we dramatize things, we fall back into this space of fear rather than this space of illumination and new beginnings. Gemini, let's pull this one first. We've got reinforcements here. So you've got reinforcements, right? And I do see the tied up, right? So we're gonna go here. I know this is sometimes challenging for people to see this card, but what it means is that there's an opportunity for you to free yourself. So you've got some, for those with Gemini, you've got some ideas that you've been holding on to that have literally been keeping you chained. You know, sometimes we have these ideas that we've stored, right? That we've kept in the back burner, that we've stored, and we've told ourselves, one day I'm going to work on this. Well, sometimes, you know, if the idea doesn't flow, it's for a reason, right? It's for a reason. So maybe we need to rethink something because you're chained to an idea that perhaps is a little stale at this point, right? Perhaps is a little stale. You have reinforcements here, which means that you can let go of ideas or thought patterns, right? This is also belief systems that no longer serve you. You can let that go. These are mental constraints for those of you with a Gemini moon. And let's see what your guidance is. Move forward. There you go. Move forward. If you've got an idea and you've been sitting on it for a while, right? You've been sitting on it for a while. It's telling you move forward. You know, these ideas can go stale. If you've got it, use it, implement it. It doesn't need to be a big production. Again, it can be a slow. In fact, the fact that there are boats here, boats don't move really quickly, and these are sailboats. So you move with the wind, right? You move with the idea. The wind is characteristic and a symbol of the swords energy over here, right? So we want to move with that energy. So feel into it and then just move forward. Let's do it. Beautiful. So you see the themes here are a little bit different. There's a lot of structure going on here, and that's typical of the Capricornian energy, right? There's a lot of structure. You're getting guidance on what to do next or how to move forward, right? So really important for us to also, and again, that's one of my lessons, is to slow down so that I can feel into the guidance and I can really share it with you guys. And if it means a longer video, c'est la vie, right? Because we don't want a repeat of what I just did. We've got a moon in Cancer. We just finished your Cancer new moon, and this is tested wills, right? Move forward with what you already know. You've got this. There's no need for you to live in a space of fear. Again, this is drama, right? So I am being called to this. This is drama in the head space. Drama because things are not as you wanted it to be. Drama because you're bored and you wanted to do something different, and you find yourself just not being able to dislodge, not being able to free yourself. That's because you are trying to control everything. So it's really important to allow, this is the Five of Swords, right? Allow the chaos to do its thing, because at the end of the day, when we have belief in a higher power, the chaos kind of just like lands. And then you'll be able to see how you're supposed to move forward. Let's see what your guidance system is. Seek counsel. There you go. If you're feeling this drama, if you're locked into the past, if you can't move forward, if you're stuck in the drama of it all, get help. Seek counsel. Talk it out with someone, with a loved person, with a loved one, right? The more you express this mental angst, the more you'll be released from the perception of feeling trapped. Oops, we're doing that. Leo, 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 Leo moons. We have hope here. Wow, we really have a lot of sort of swords coming up here with, this was the Gemini, Cancer, and now Leo. So a lot of swords, a lot of thoughts. People are actually freaking out. Lots going on in the world. But guess what? You, my Leos, Leo moons, you have the ability to land one of these ideas and give us all hope, right? So whatever it is that's going on in your life right now for the Leos, you're always showcasing something. This is the time to bring it because we really need it. We really need it. So this full moon for you is about showcasing something that you've been holding on to for a while, with the understanding that you're doing it to provide hope, not only for yourself, but for others. Let's see what your guidance is. Trust your wisdom. There you go. Trust your wisdom. Beautiful, right? It's really important for you to trust your wisdom. Trust that what you have to offer will, in fact, give us hope and benefits the world. Nice. We've got the moon in Virgo, babies. Let's put that there for now. Beyond expectations. Woohoo! This is definitely the world, right? So good for you. So this for me is about a project that you've been working on. It's about your money. It's about your health. Whatever it is that you've been working on, the rewards that you're receiving with this full moon in Capricorn, it's actually beyond your expectation. So don't try to control too much. I know that the Virgos sometimes try to, control sort of the outcomes. Don't do that, because you're going to miss out on this victory engagement that you have waiting for you for this full moon in Capricorn. Let's see what your guidance is. It says ask for help, right? So if you find yourself trying to control, if you find yourself freaking out about what's this going on with my health, what's going on with my money, what's going on with my abundance, I feel like we're all getting this ask for help or ask for, don't be afraid to look at your reflection and actually ask for help from yourself, from your higher wisdom, right? It doesn't need to be outside of who you are. In fact, this is a reflection. She's looking at a reflection of herself in the waters. So don't forget to ask for help if you feel stuck. But you've got great cards. So again, just release any expectations you may have so that you can really enjoy the fruits of your labor. Next we have moon in Libras. Put this here for now. And we have young enthusiasm. So with the Libras, I am going to sort of gravitate towards the Devil card here, because there's something here, either your thought form or the past, that you're thinking about the past and having regrets about. This is what the Libra is expressing. It does feel to me that you're moving forward so you can release the chains of the past, but this is what you're maybe working through this time around with this full moon in Capricorn until that the new moon in August. So let's see, your befriend pleasure. So yeah, maybe what we're holding on to in the past had to do with an intimate relationship or a pleasurable experience, or something that you thought was pleasurable and in fact made you feel beholden, right? So there's There's an opportunity for you to land and calm the mind and just be friends with pleasure. Play. The guidance for you is to play and not be so serious, not be in the space of wanting to balance every little thing or every past experience. Be here. Be in the space of play. And that might actually include young energies around you, kids, so you can remember how to play. Let's put that there. And now we have Moon in Scorpio. We have willpower. Dun, dun, dun. You know what? It takes willpower to release. I'm gonna, the Emperor is usually an energy that's like very much about this victory engagement, but it's also the energy of leadership, right? And not feeling trapped in these past engagements and not feeling trapped in what used to be. And it does require you to focus on what makes you feel secure, right? Let's say you released this engagement. Let's say it doesn't exist anymore. Let's say, who are you? What's the freedom for? Now what's going to make you feel secure when you no longer have that past narrative to hang on to, right? And this does require you to be sort of in a meditative state. And it does require willpower, dedication, right, from your end. Let's see what the guidance is. Pause for reflection. There you go. I mean, meditation, right? Pause. Take it easy. Analyze what's happened in the past, but don't dwell on what's happened in the past. In fact, if you've got that willpower, it's because you've technically moved on from it, but you're somehow bringing it forward. Let it go. Meditate. Pause. Be in that reflection. Only excavate what was good about that bad experience. That's actually, for everyone, that's actually one amazing, like I said before, one amazing way to release the past or past trauma is to look at it and say, what did I learn from that experience? That's literally what you're being asked to do, Scorpio. What did you learn about the past experience? What did you learn about the hellish experience? What did you learn? Because if you haven't learned anything, we're bound to repeat it. We're bound to feel the constrictions. Moon in Sagittarius. Beautiful. We're here. The Sagittarius, we're here. We're in that new beginning stage by doing an introspective work, by doing the inner guidance, following that inner strength. You know, to conquer the world, to be in the space of victory, we first have to be in the space of inner strength. Beautiful. So this full moon in Capricorn is teaching you how to do just that, to maintain your emotional stability by understanding that it's within you that the strength will be found. Embrace stillness. Look at that. I love it when the cards like match like that. Like this energy is a feminine energy, so be ready to receive. And the way that you're ready to receive, right, based on this victory that you've accomplished, is to be in that space of stillness, right? So you're getting that reinforcement. It's been a couple of us that have gotten here this message to be still. Myself, most importantly. All right, next we have, this is your moon, full moon in Capricorn, recognition, right? Victory here. We are in the space of victory. You're being recognized for your hard work. You're being recognized for loving yourself, right? For being in the space of self-love, self-care, right? You're being recognized. And by recognition, this is from the higher realms. There's a joyful expression here with this recognition because you took the time to take care of yourself. So there will be an energy of recognition for those of you with a full moon in, a moon in Capricorn. And with that recognition, you're inviting peace. Look how beautiful that is. Take a screenshot of that. Look at the dove on the top, right? So I feel like if you are or were in the past stressed out, there's this feeling of inner peace, which comes only because you invite it, only because you did this hard work of self-care. Lovely. And I feel like you're going to get more peace. Moon in Aquarius, babies, what do you have? Straightforward. You've got a new idea. We're in the world energy, right? Whenever we see the world card in tarot, that's new beginnings and endings, endings and beginnings. So when we see the Ace of Swords, this is a new beginning that's sharp, that's clear, that's not at all muddled with complications, right? So there's a new beginning that's coming for you that's very clear. So you'll know exactly what it is because you will not be confused. Nice. Oh, almost forgot your guidance. Listen. I love it, right? It's going to be very clear. Listen to the signs. Listen to what's coming your way. Listen to the guidance, right? It's going to be very clear, this next move that you're being guided to take. Last and never least, moon in Pisces, babies. Partake in life. Pause. Relax. Chill. Right? Just stop and smell the roses. Literally stop and smell the roses. This feels like there's been an overworking, right? If you're being asked to even, put aside the umbrella that protects you and just let the rain come and wash away, there's a clearing that's happening right now. There's a washing away of the heaviness that's happening right now. Let it go. Your stability, your security, your feeling of emotional connectedness, right, with structure, literally lies in your emotions and in the understanding that your wealth, your prosperity, your abundance has nothing to do with the exterior world, and it's all an internal job. You don't really have to do much. But at this point, with this moon, full moon in Capricorn, you're being asked to just stop. Stop, chill, relax, and partake in life. Have joyous moments with your loved ones. Have joyous moments with people in your business, in your career, at work, in the building or the home where you live, right? Take the moment and have those joyous opportunities because it's going to be cleansing something that you no longer need. And naturally, because this is a water sign, it may be something that you're not even aware of, right? So let's see what the guidance is. I mean, you can't make this up, right? Dance, have fun, enjoy, move the body. You're actually being told that's the only way you're going to make money, is if you stay in the space of joy and not in the space of heaviness. Don't call in, and I feel this is also very much in the collective. Okay, that's your reading. Don't call in the negative. Don't. If we're not ready to receive the benefits that will bring us this new world, we can't force it by trying to hang on to past behaviors. We have to let that go. We actually have to I feel like with this meditation, everybody getting this enforcements of meditations, right? Like it almost feels like the way to let this go is to be in the present moment. Is there an urgency in your life right now? Are you in danger right now? Can you stop and smell the roses? Can you literally look at your space to the right, to the left, above, below, surrounding you, and say, am I in danger? Because if you're not, we need to stop calling it in. We need to stop calling in these, oh, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. We need to stop, okay? There are things being played out. There are people who are losing their lives. And collectively, we feel powerless about that. But we have strength. But we have wisdom. But we have what the lower energies don't have, right? And that is the ability to free myself through my mind, right? This came out through my mind, through my body, right? Through my body and through my emotional resonance. It's funny because this time around, the archetype that's the major arcana is the Scorpio moon reading, which is willpower and pause, right? Pause for reflection. This engagement is actually what is going to make this disappear. I know it seems simple, but that's what it is, folks. That's what it is. So just to recap, and then these are the messages for the collective. Awakening, knowing that guidance is golden. Engage in new skills. Protect your boundaries. You have reinforcement, so move forward. When we have our wills tested, seek counsel. Look to others. There is hope. We have to trust our wisdom. What lies ahead is beyond our expectations. If we can't handle it, ask for help. Young enthusiasm is going to usher in the pleasures of life. Have the willpower to pause for reflection. Gather your inner strength. Embrace stillness. In the recognition of self-love, we invite peace. Listen. Be straightforward with what you desire and what you want. Be part of life. Dance. Play. That was beautiful. I think we all needed to hear that in order to focus on our future point. I was going to do a collective reading, but I think I liked the way that the energies flowed with everyone's message. Remember that when we have these two archetypes, we are going back to the root chakra, which is a beginning point. So how do you want to begin again? Because we are being given this opportunity to do that, to start over, right? So let's begin with a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of pleasure, right? Because those are the energies we want to bring forward. Okay, I think that's it. I love you to the sun, the moon, and the stars. Until next time.